Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa. Welcome to Transfer Hub, your home of Aston Villa's transfer news, links, rumours, noise, murmurings, incomings, outgoings. You name it, you'll find it here over on Up the Villa. If you are new to our channel, make sure you are subscribing, get on the journey with us, smash the like button, and most importantly, comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. Good news coming out of Aston Villa is that Boubacar Kamara looks likely to sign a new contract at Aston Villa. This is coming from the athletic Aston Villa optimistic midfielder Boubacar Kamara will sign new contract. Now, this is big news for Aston Villa and the fan base because he's arguably one of our best players, our most crucial tactical based players, and a player that I believe can get better and better. He's somebody that, and I don't just look at certain players at Villa and go, you're finished article, that's what you are, that's what you're going to do, that's it now. 25 years of age, and I still think he can get better. And I really want him to get better. I think there's elements of his game that he can kick on with. So it's really important. I think why it's important for Villa is that he's one of Unai's favourites, along with Pau and along with Rodgers. And now I'd probably say like Tielemans. I think he's got a couple of like favourites that he really, really likes. And Kamara's just somebody that makes Villa better. If Kamara's in the team, Villa are better. So I think he's a player that his contract, he's got less than 2 years now. So now is the time, if you're going to sell him, because his value is probably at its highest it's going to be. If that runs down to a year and he doesn't sign a deal and he talks to other clubs and he leaves on a free like he did at Marseille, then that's no good for Villa. If you're talking Villa are in a position where we cannot allow players to leave for free. I mean, we need money coming in. We need to get the highest value for the players that are potentially leaving. To allow someone of that quality to go on a free would be a disaster. So getting Boubacar Kamara signed up, I think is really important. And I actually feel like getting it signed up and realigned with him focusing fully on Villa, I think would be important. I think it would settle the situation a little bit more. I felt like towards the end of the season, his performances were okay, but it wasn't quite Kamara, was it? Especially at Wembley against Palace. Even Tielemans, both of them had their worst games. So I would love it for him to get signed in for a new deal. And I think it's also important that for the squad as well, I think if we're looking at next season and yeah, I mean, as things stand right now, I do believe we will make signings. And once Bailey, etc., leaves, then a winger or wing back will possibly come in. So I'm okay with thinking like that. But it's also important that we don't lose our best players. We've seen Forest raided, Bournemouth raided, Brentford raided, Brighton raided. Did I say Brentford? Brentford raided. Villa, everyone's here. So that is very, very important that that's not happened. So midfield nucleus still very, very strong. So I'm just really happy about that. I have touched on that I do want him to kick on a bit now. And I think this is my area where I look at certain players and think, you are very, very good, but you could be even better. You could get to a level where you are elite, you are top bracket. And I think Kamara's up there, but I do think he can. He's that. What I'm trying to say is, he's that good. I think he could be even better. So, where I think he could be better is, I think we started to see a little bit at home against Tottenham when he scored his first ever Villa goal. Further forward, with more of a attacking nature. So he was at the edge of the box. He stepped on something and he hit it and it went in. Now, if he's got that in his locker, let's see more of it. And I also think last season we started to remember the season that we qualified for the Champions League. The double pivot was on a diagonal. So you had Dougie Luiz and you had Boubacar Kamara. Last season it was on a pure horizontal. So more horizontal, but a bit of a pendulum. And they were both on the same line and they were both more together, engaged, higher up the pitch. I would like to see him sometimes be able to just burst a little bit further forward, because I've seen Kamara in a bit more of an attacking third and he's got great vision. He can play those little lofted passes over the top. He's got a little bit of creativity. And I think we could see a little bit of that. So, system dependent. But the big one for me, guys, with Kamara, and it's unfortunate with injuries, but I would like to see Kamara play 38 Premier League games a whole season. Because every season at Villa, he's not got over 22 starts each season. The highest he's got is 21. So for a player that's so integral to Villa and so good, we need to see him play a lot more games. And that's probably my biggest thing with Kamara, is that the injury record isn't the greatest. So going into next season, I want to see him have a really good pre-season and play all majority, be there for the team. Because the problem you don't want to have is when you start moving players around. Yes, we've got Onana, but we don't want to just keep like moving. Sometimes McGinn has to go in a double pivot. I don't really want to see that. I want Kamara to be there. So if we have a little look at, just move me over. We have a little look at Kamara then. So last season, Kamara played 26 Premier League games, started 20. Season before, he played 20 and started 20. And 22-23, he played 24 and started 21. So we need Kamara starting more games. How many Champions League did he play? So he started 8 out of 10. So we need Kamara playing more games for Aston Villa. That is the one wish that I've got going into next season. So, yes, very, very good news about Kamara. Very, very good news. But I do want to see him play more, and I want to see him. We're going up a level because I know it's there. I know it's there. We've got some other news. I wish these would just right. So, in other news, we've got UEFA warns Chelsea and Aston Villa on inflated player swap deals. Premier League rivals view transactions as artificially increasing transfer income to help comply with PSR. Will these just leave us alone? So they're basically just saying it's a warning. They're going to look into all transactions like this with overinflated players. And they're talking about Ian Matson and Kellyman, etc. So, eagle eye, they're on to us. They're watching. They're checking what certain clubs are doing, which is just really, really frustrating, but there's nothing in it really. There's nothing. What can they do really? You set you set your value. If someone wants to pay, someone wants to pay. So yeah, so great news about Kamara. And later on today, we've got the watch along. So at 2:45, we'll be going live watch along Aston Villa's second game. We'll have a match reaction to follow as well. So cheers, everyone. I did watch the Warsaw game back, and I've already spotted an Emery tactical switch up. So I want to have one more look at Rostock, and then I will merge the two games together, show you what I found, see if those patterns continue for the rest of the games as well. So hopefully everyone enjoys the episode, and I'll see you all later on for the watch along up the Villa.